Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to our information session for today. And my name is Jolan Rivera, and I am with Shayana Acevedo. And we are going to work with you on providing information on the Master of Public Administration. And we should start now. And I would like to start by first introducing our teams. So it's a collaboration between the Carsey School of Public Policy, where the Master of Public Administration is situated, and Shayana's office, which is the online recruitment team. So let me just quickly start with the Carsey School team. So we're a small team. And these are the folks that are regular. So we regular are part of the team. We have other instructors who come in and out depending on when they are teaching. But regular members of the team include Stephen Bird. He is actually the director of the Carsey School of Public Policy. We also have Melinda Negron Gonzalez, who by July the 1st will be officially the director of all of our academic programs. My name is Jolan Rivera. I currently direct the Masters in Community Development, and I am also a senior lecturer for the program. We have three folks that support the team. Actually, they are integral to the team. First is Robin Husledge. She supports the team in terms of academic affairs. And then we have Ann Kimball, and also we have who works for student services, and Sanjeev Sharma, who attends to admissions and advising. Shayana, perhaps I just could quickly turn it over to you to introduce yourself and your team.
Yeah, thank you, Jolan. And welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening. I am Shayana Acevedo. I am the Assistant Director for the online grad recruitment team. And I have the wonderful pleasure of working with Callie Iorardi and Danielle Beatty. Danielle Beatty is actually our recruitment specialist specifically for our Carsey program. So if you've already formally inquired about a Carsey program, you may already have heard from Danielle, received a phone call or an email. But we are so happy to assist you in any part of your application process. And of course, we have an amazing team, as Jolan has just shared with you. So any of us are happy to help with questions that you might have. And thank you again for joining us.
Thanks, Shayana. You'll have more of Shayana once I've introduced the MPA curriculum. So let me just start by quickly providing sort of like a context to the Master of Public Administration. So it is one of our 4 academic programs. But our academic program is just one of a number of features of the Carsey School of Public Policy. So the Carsey School of Public Policy has a mission statement that, when summarized, have 3 major areas. First, it does address pressing public issues by conducting research. So it generates and validates knowledge on social issues. Second, we share knowledge. We share knowledge through offering educational programs like the academic programs that we have. And last but not least, we apply knowledge by engaging with communities to bring people together. So all of these 3 main features of the Carsey School find themselves located in the following offices or centers. For the research part, we have the Center for Demography, the Center for Impact Finance, and the Center for Social Policy in Practice. For the second bullet point, which is offering education, we have 4 academic programs, which I will talk about briefly in the next slide. And last but not least, engaging communities, primarily what the Center for Engaged Communities does, but to some extent, some of the other programs or centers also engage in community engagement. So let us focus on what you came for this afternoon, which is our academic programs, specifically on the Master of Public Administration. Just to let you know, before we do a deep dive on this particular academic program, that it is one of our 4 academic programs. Of the 4 academic programs, 3 of them, the MPA, the Master in Community Development, and the Master of Global Conflict and Human Security, are online programs. Our fourth program, which are Masters in Public Policy, is an in-person program. So again, the main difference is that this program requires students to come to UNH for face-to-face classes. On the other hand, our three other programs, including the MPA, is primarily online. In fact, for the MPA, it is exclusively online, except if you choose one course, one elective course that is actually in person, which I will be talking about in succeeding slides. So let me now focus on the Master of Public Administration. So the Master of Public Administration, sort of like the area that it works on a general level, would be when it comes to working with public and nonprofit organizations. So it is a program that equips folks in this public and nonprofit organizations, specifically leaders in public administration and nonprofit, to gain knowledge on how you efficiently run these organizations. I will later describe the courses that students take to be able to increase their efficiency in running or administering public and nonprofit organizations. So we have two types of MPA programs. The first one is the Executive MCD, which is a 12-month executive program, which is geared towards folks with 5 years or more of management experience. The other program, which you will not see here, but you will see in the next few slides, is a regular MPA program, which you won't be able to complete in 12 months, but you could actually complete in as little as 14 months, I think. But we will see it later. And then at the end of the day, it is a program. The MPA program provides you with knowledge and skills that you will need in administering and managing public services and nonprofits. Perhaps, it is best to have a good understanding of this master's program by looking at one of its products. Let me introduce to you Robert Buxton. Robert Buxton is a graduate of the program. So he is currently the director of the New Hampshire Department of Safety of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. He joined the program in 2017 and completed it in 2019. While completing the program, he was actually working as a lieutenant. He previously had experience working with the fire department in Hudson and in Nashua. So Robert is just one example of our students and what you could be actually if you complete the program. In fact, there are a lot of options that you have by completing the program. You could be an executive director or administrative director of a government unit or government organization. You could be the city manager of your town or city, or perhaps a development and fundraising officer for a nonprofit, or even the economic development director of a town hall or city hall, and other examples of what you could be or what you are right now, but would like to gain more knowledge and skills to be efficient in managing and administering your public organization or your nonprofit. Again, it is almost always easier to picture these things by using examples. So another of our graduates that we'd like to introduce to you is Brittany Matthews. She currently is the Director of Policy and Advocacy for the Center for Higher Education and Policy here in New Hampshire. She had a capstone that worked on collaborating with a New Hampshire statewide initiative called Live Free and Start, which is focused on engaging startup businesses to build support and create sustainable foundation for them moving forward. And here are some of the past experiences of Brittany. So again, you could be a Brittany, but how could you be a Brittany? Or even how could you be a Robert? Well, you have to take courses, isn't it? It's an academic program that would require you to take a number of academic courses. So if you qualify for the executive MPA, which means that you have at least 5 years of management experience in public administration or nonprofit management, then you are required to take 10 courses, which is equivalent to 30 credits, because each of these courses has an equivalent of 3 credits. Now, if you don't qualify for the executive MPA, you could still join us through our regular MPA program. And the only difference is that you take 12 courses instead of 10, and 12 courses translate to 36 credits. So what specifically are these courses? So here you are. Regardless of whether or not you're doing the executive MPA or the regular MPA, you need to take the basic and advanced core courses. For example, for the basic core courses, you are going to be provided with a learning environment where you increase your knowledge and skills when it comes to foundations and theories of public administration. Also, you will increase your knowledge and skills when it comes to organization and management in public and nonprofit sectors, as well as skills in statistical analysis. There are also advanced core courses. Here, though, there are 5 of them, and you can choose 3. When it comes to the basic courses, you have to take all 3, but for the advanced core courses, you can choose 3 of the 5. And this goes from grant writing to strategic communications, leadership theory and practice, financial management, and effective change management. As you could already see, folks, these are courses that provide knowledge and skills to increase your efficiency in administering a public office or running or managing a nonprofit. Other than these basic and advanced core courses, you also have to choose a capstone, a track. Okay, it's sort of like almost like a specialization. You can get a track on management and leadership, which makes you take 3 courses that are related on management and leadership, plus electives. Or you could do the program planning and development track, specifically taking a number of courses on how to plan for, design, implement, monitor, and evaluate a development project. That would be 4 courses plus an elective. So all in all, if you qualify for the executive MCT, you will take 10 courses. For the regular MPA, you will take 12 courses. So how long does it take? So it depends. You can actually finish your MPA in as short as 12 months if you qualify for the executive MCB, and you take 2 courses per term. I will show you later that each term is composed of 8 weeks. So if you take 2 courses per term, you should be able to complete it in 12 months. However, if you take 1 course per term, it will take you 24 months to complete the program. And again, an important question, other than how much time does it take to complete the program, is how much does it cost? So it depends. If you take the executive MPA option, assuming you qualify, out-of-state cost is $26,400 to complete the program, and for the regular MPA, $31,680. Please note that this is for out-of-state. For in-state, obviously, it would be less. So who qualifies for the executive MPA? So here you go, at least 5 years of management experience in public and nonprofit organizations. It could be working, let's say, as a supervisor in a public office or a government unit, or perhaps working as a manager of a nonprofit. So again, the important thing is that when you submit your application in the statement of purpose, describe very clearly your management experience, because those are going to review it. We're going to look at it and we'll let you know whether or not you qualify. But why does carsey even bother to have an executive MPA program? Well, because it benefits everyone. First, it benefits folks in the class. If you have folks in the classroom with experience, it enhances the learning process, isn't it? Because you will be talking about actual real life experiences based on folks' experience running a nonprofit, perhaps, or managing nonprofit or administering a government unit. It also is beneficial for the student itself, or himself, or themselves, or herself, because it allows them to actually complete the degree quicker. If you take 2 courses per term, you can finish it in a year and in an affordable manner because you pay for the equivalent of 10 courses instead of 12 courses. So how does this work? So you attend all of these courses on a term basis, okay? This is important, folks, because there's actually a difference between a semester and a term. We use the word term to describe a unit of participation in a course. For online programs, we use terms. A term is an 8-week time period where you have 8 modules to complete to be able to complete a course. In the MPA program, the first term is something between August and October. Like usually it's the 3rd week of August until like around middle of October. And then you'll get a 1-week break. Then your second term starts, which is the 3rd week of October to like around December 18, 19, 20. Like a week before, more or less a week before the holidays, or at the onset of the holidays. And then you have a month's break. And then term 3 starts in January. Typically, it is right after MLKs, around January 20, 21, 22, and it goes until middle of March. So that's your term 3. There's a week's break, and then you start your term 4, which is like the 3rd/4th week of March until like around May 15, 16, 17. Then you have a week's break, and then term 5 starts, which is our summer term, which is like 3rd week, 4th week of May to around like middle of July. End of the day, it's 8 weeks for each of these terms, which we differentiate from a semester. A semester technically is actually, it's like 2 terms. So we are not going to be talking about semesters when it comes to our online courses. We're talking about terms. Okay? And then remember I mentioned earlier that most, if not all of your courses, actually all of your courses are online, except if you choose, to take an elective that is in person. But technically they're all online, unless you choose for something that's not. Except if one example of like an elective that you might want to choose to be part of your courses that is not online is the Washington, DC Colloquium. We are featuring this in this info session because it's a special course, actually. It's a course that happens in January. Remember here, there's a month's break between terms 2 and 3. This is where you have the opportunity to take an in-person course, a partly in-person course. We call it the J term, and the course is the Washington, D.C. Colloquium. It's 3 weeks. The first 2 weeks, for week 1 and week 3 are fully online. Week 2 is in person, not only in person, in DC. Okay? You will have the opportunity to actually learn from about career paths across multiple sectors when it comes to the political landscape in DC, which is not only the government, but also nonprofits. A lot of like nonprofits have their headquarters or offices in DC. As you know, a lot of our federal offices are based in DC. So think tanks, folks in senior positions, these are folks that you will be working with in terms of learning, career paths, current policy landscapes, as well as connect with working professionals for networking and career building opportunities, both in the public sector and in the nonprofit sector. But before you go to DC, you will need to prepare for it. So you prepare for it in week 1 online. You'll be meeting your classmates or instructors online, and then go to DC, stay in DC for a week, and then come back and then do your last week online. So this is a special course because this is a course that is being taken not only by MPA students. So this is a course where you have the opportunity to actually interact and engage with MCD students, for example, MPP students, and GCHS students, students from the three other academic programs of the Carsey School of Public Policy. So this is an actual class that went to DC, I think, a couple of years ago. So just to summarize, folks, you can complete your MPA, either 10 courses or 12 courses, depending on whether or not you qualify the executive MCD program. It takes, MPA program, it takes 12 to 24 months. It can even be longer if, you cannot take at least one course per semester. You talk per term, you have to talk to your academic advisor to be able to plan things out. And then you can customize your degree by choosing electives. Okay? And you have like 2 to 3 electives that you can choose on where you can specialize like on specific topics. And then last but not least, just to point out, your courses, most of them, like all of your core courses, both basic and advanced, are online and they're all asynchronous. What does that mean? There's no like time where you have to meet online. For example, example of a synchronous, not asynchronous. Let's just say, hey, every Wednesday at 5:30, we all come together online. So it's a live class. No, you don't have that for your core courses for the MPA program. It's all online and all asynchronous. I say for the most part because what if you choose to take the project management track? In that case, there is a synchronous element to it. What if you choose the DC Colloquium? Then there is an in-person element to it. But technically, you can actually complete all of your courses, 10 or 12 of them, all online, all asynchronous. And what are the application requirements? What are the other things that you need to come up with in order to join us in the program? I will now have to pass the floor to Shayana to talk about it in more detail. So all yours, Shayana.
Yeah, thank you, Jolan. Happy to jump in, and I hope that folks have enjoyed learning so much about the program from Jolan. And we just want to remind folks that we are going to be having a Q&A session, so hang in there with us, and we'd love to hear those questions that you have. So to cover the application requirements in order to apply, it is an online application. So you will create a portal with a username and password. And you can start as soon as today if you haven't already. So this is something that you can work at incrementally, take your time, put forward your best work. It can be saved. So we just want to remind folks that, it doesn't have to be all in just in one day. You do have time. So I would encourage folks to really, again, put their best work forward and really, be able to share more about yourself. There is an application fee tied to submitting your application. We do have a fun surprise at the end of this session, so we encourage you to continue hanging on with us. We are asking for 2 to 3 letters of recommendation. These are folks that can speak on you as a working professional or from an academic standpoint. We do ask that you avoid asking people like family members or friends, as those will not be sufficient recommendations. But again, people that can speak with you from a professional stance. I think it's also important to note that upon submitting your application, the people that you do put down as recommenders will be automatically sent an email, and they'll be able to evaluate you. We are asking that you send in college transcripts from any and all institutions that you may have attended prior to your time here with us at the University of New Hampshire. Just a pro tip, we are able to make a decision on your application with unofficial transcripts. So I think different people come in with different things depending on their situation. So if you do have unofficial transcripts that you're able to upload and provide during the application process, that will be enough. Upon admission into the program, the graduate school does require that you send in official transcripts. So, it really depends on your personal circumstances. I believe it is also a personal decision. So if you feel like you want to just go ahead and request official transcripts, that is perfectly okay too. A personal statement is also a requirement of our application process. Those personal statement prompts are listed on the website, and they will also automatically generate while you're in the application as well. So you will not be missing anything. You'll have everything that you need in order to complete that personal statement in the application portal. And then last but certainly not least, we are asking for an updated and professional current resume, just so that the admissions committee can see just a snapshot of everything that you bring as your whole self, both professionally and also personally, depending on your circumstances. And then just to note at the bottom, standardized test scores such as the GRE are not required, but English language proficiency is required for all of our international students. And in very exciting news, we are currently accepting applications for our upcoming fall 2025 cohort. And there is still plenty of time to start your application. If you've already started your application, we encourage you to go ahead and submit it as soon as you feel comfortable and you feel like you've put forth your best work. That deadline is August 1st, so there's still plenty of time. If you are planning very far ahead and, just info gathering, we do just want to acknowledge that we do accept students 3 times out of the year, which is fantastic. So if you're not considering submitting your application for the fall, we do have a spring and a new summer cohort as well. And then financial aid is, of course, a very important topic that we would like to cover with you. We are proud, as you can see, to offer a range of partner scholarships in collaboration with our very distinguished organizations. This can provide eligible grad students with a tuition discount of up to 25% towards their master's degree. So we encourage you to reach out to us with any and all questions as it pertains to financial aid and the cost of school. This is always a topic that is very personal to each individual student. So that's why I encourage you to schedule an appointment with us to discuss what that could look like. Our student accounts department is also very happy to meet with you individually and discuss things like, payment plans, when you can expect to pay for school. And we'd also be happy to go more in depth about what these scholarship opportunities are and whether you qualify or not. I would also like to highlight that federal financial aid is available to those who qualify. So that is not just an opportunity at the undergraduate level, that also presents itself at the graduate level as well. And then the University of New Hampshire as a whole is a place that for some of us, call home. If you live near New Hampshire, if you've had the opportunity to step foot on campus, it is a pretty beautiful place. That is an aerial screenshot of the middle of our campus. That is how the university started. That was the first building, and everything kind of built around it over time. But we are the flagship institution of the state of New Hampshire. We are an R1 research institution, so we're very proud of this. We are about 1 in 40 schools in the country to hold this designation. And really what this means is we have students conducting research at the highest level. And that is an opportunity that you have as an online graduate student. And we are also a land, sea, and space grant institution. Just another fun fact, we are only 1 in 24 schools that hold that designation. We are also proud to offer small class sizes. So you're really looking at 15 or less students in your classes. So this is really an opportunity that fosters a sense of community and belonging, but also a wealth of diversity with where our students are coming from. Faculty and scholars are practitioners, and there's really there's an emphasis on learning community with theory and practice as well. And then UNH student supports. As an online student, you would still receive the full suite of support as would any other student, whether you're in person or online, it doesn't matter. We want to make sure that you're set up for success in your time in the program. You will be assigned a graduate academic advisor. His name is Sanjeev. He's fantastic. You're going to have a lot of different supports while you are in the Carsey school. So you'll be overwhelmed with love and support and guidance in all aspects of your time as a UNH student. Once you are admitted into your program, you are connected with that academic advisor, and this will really serve as a wealth of knowledge for you to navigate in your time at UNH. IT services is also something that is provided to you. It is a 24/7 service. You can reach them over the phone. You can reach them in a live chat. They are also available to take Zoom calls, take calls over the phone as well. They can get you set up with anything as small as getting locked out if you have forgotten your password, to things bigger like help with your computer, getting that set up. Library resources are also something that you have access to. I think most of our students are not coming to campus, which is totally okay. You can utilize our library resources completely remote. And then we also have our online writing lab. So this is a resource that is really going to help serve with anything related to written assignments, any part of the writing process that you might be at, with discussion boards, with research papers, with final papers. So big and small writing, they can help you out. And then last but certainly not least, although you'll have an extensive amount of support in your time with the Carsey School, Career and Professional Success, CAPS for short, will be there to help in any stage of where you might be exploring. So resources, no matter where you are in the process, they can help with things like mock interviews, resume building, LinkedIn building, career opportunities. They do host a variety of different events in the remote space. So I highly, highly encourage you to take advantage of those opportunities, starting from the beginning. You don't have to wait until close to graduation. And then I know that we've provided you with a lot of information this evening, so hopefully you're walking away feeling well informed and having more than what you started with. But we do recognize that sometimes that does require just some debrief. It requires having individual conversations with our team. We invite you to reach out to us again at any step in the process. We'd be happy to help you navigate the systems here at UNH. We'd be happy to connect you with the appropriate folks. The online recruitment team is a really great starting point. Our email is listed right there, as well as our phone number. That is the team. We're a pretty small team right there. And then just below that, we do have the Carsey School, of course. And just like Jolan had introduced us earlier in the session, we do have Robin and And. They are amazing resources. And again, we just really encourage you to reach out with any questions that you might have.